We're approaching the halfway point of Season 3 here in our realistic Crystal Palace career mode, and we have a jam-packed episode to get to. Not only do we have 7 games to get to, including a quarter-final Carabao Cup clash against Chelsea and a derby match against Brighton, but we also have to finalise our shortlist of defensive midfielders that we could be targeting in January, and we have to address the contract situations of a handful of our own players who are currently on expiring deals. Will Hughes, Daniel Munoz, Chris Richards, Raksaki, and Eboué are all on expiring deals, and it's going to be up to our AI sporting director, Dougie Friedman, to decide who we re-sign. And he decides that Munoz, Richards, and Raksaki are all worth re-signing, but is happy to move on from Hughes and Eboué. We do have Milan van Ewijk, so I wasn't sure whether Dougie Friedman would be happy enough to let Daniel Munoz go, but he does want him back on a 2-year deal and is even willing to give him a slight pay rise to 85,000 a week. It doesn't take that though. Daniel Munoz is happy enough on 75, so he resigns for 2 years. Similarly, he is happy to offer a pay rise up to 60,000 for Chris Richards. I don't think it's going to take quite that much, and it does look like he's going to be willing to sign for 51. And finally, Friedman is happy enough to re-sign Raksaki, provided he is willing to accept a sporadic squad role once more. And he does want an increase to rotation. So unfortunately, we will not be able to get a deal done with Raksaki. So it'll be interesting to see what Dougie Friedman makes of that. Does that change his motivation to re-sign Eboué? Will he be looking to move on from Raksaki in January instead? And he says it does make sense to move on from Raksaki in January, and therefore re-signing Eboué becomes a bit more of a priority. I have a little suggestion for our sporting director though. Why move on from the younger players like Eboué, like Raksaki, when we have the 28-year-old Ismaila Sarr sitting here who barely gets to play these days and is not even that much of a higher overall than the likes of Raksaki. So moving on from Ismaila Sarr in January would open up some more minutes for Raksaki to take on a more rotational role. However, our goal is to qualify for a European competition this season, and if we manage to do that, Sarr would be a really useful player to have around. And that's exactly the concern that Dougie Friedman has. So he sticks to his plan. We need to keep Sarr. His quality and experience make him valuable for this season's goals. Sell Raksaki for 5 to 7 million. And then if we miss Europe, we can always revisit selling Sarr in the summer. So Dougie Friedman's wish is our command. We'll place Raksaki on the transfer list, and we will instead negotiate a contract with Malcolm Eboué. And he does re-sign on a 3-year deal with a very modest pay rise. Today's video is sponsored by Enigma Football, the UK's leading supplier of football shirt mystery boxes just like this one. Enigma stock a wide range of football shirts from clubs from the Big 5 European leagues, from lesser known teams around the world, and even from national teams as well. And you can be 100% certain that their shirts are authentic because they get them straight from the clubs and the manufacturers directly. Their mystery boxes start at just $34.99, and they can be as random or as customized as you like. Of course, you need to specify your shirt size, but you can also let Enigma know if there are any teams or leagues you would like to avoid, if there are any colors or designs that you would prefer, or you can just leave it entirely up to Enigma to choose for you. Enigma had a very good idea of what team I would like to receive, so they sent me this season's Crystal Palace shirt. This exact shirt on the Crystal Palace website would have cost me £60, but if you receive it in a mystery box, you get it almost half that price. And you can knock that price down even further by using code LAMSY at the checkout for a 10% discount on all first orders, including the first month of a mystery box subscription package. So if you're on the lookout for a Christmas gift for the diehard football fan in your life, or if you just want a fun and affordable way to expand your own shirt collection, check out Enigma Football. The link is in the description, and be sure to use code LAMSY at the checkout for 10% off your first order. Shout out to Enigma Football for sponsoring. Now let's get back to the video. So as I said, our quarterfinal matchup in the Carabao Cup against Chelsea will be our featured game of today's episode. I'll show you highlights of our first and final game of the episode against Brighton and Liverpool respectively, and we will be quick simming the 4 Premier League games in between. Our excellent start to the season does mean we've got a bit of wiggle room in the Premier League, And that's handy to know when you are relying on the quick sim. We are in 6th place in the Premier League at this point in time. Our later opponents, Chelsea, are just below us in 7th, but level on points. Brighton are struggling, though, down in 13th at this point in time. Brighton, of course, not only our rivals, but the team that bought Jean-Philippe Mateta from us earlier in the series, so we'll see if he features today. We've had a decent amount of fortune this season, and we get some again here today as Brighton gift us a penalty in the first half, which Tammy Abraham, of course, buries. And to say this was a game of few chances would be an understatement. This was Brighton's real only opportunity to equalise, and Ruter put it over. So it's a fairly comfortable game, if a bit of a dull and boring affair for the home fans, but a win over your rival is a win over your rival. We will certainly take it. And there'll be a change to the shape and a couple of changes to the 11 as we travel to Kenilworth Road to take on Luton, where we absolutely smash them. Tammy Abraham, and Daichi Kamada grab a brace each to secure a 4-1 victory. Tammy Abraham just continues to absolutely blow away the opposition. 16 goals in 15 Premier League games now. And Daichi Kamada's not doing so bad himself. Those 2 goals take him to 5 goals and 7 assists on the season. And we're going to need both of them to be at their absolute best once more as we take on Chelsea in the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup in our feature game in today's episode. So without further ado, let's head over to Stamford Bridge and see if we can book a place in the final 4 for the 2nd consecutive season. This Chelsea squad looks absolutely terrifying. I would kill to have their bench, much less their starting lineup. They've got Enzo Fernandez on the bench, Axel Disasi, several other players whose names are eluding me now, but who looked pretty imposing sitting on the bench as we saw the starting lineups there. And we're going to have a work cut out for us. It's a good challenge by the former Chelsea man, Trevor Chalobah, as Cole... That's not Cole Palmer. I'm not sure who that is, the little number 19 there. But shaping to shoot. Good challenge from Trevor Chalobah to put an end to that idea. Liberali is the number 19. Not a player I'm familiar with. I don't think he's a youth academy product of Chelsea. But it's not a player that I'm familiar with. So I'm not sure where they've got him from. Koleosho. We've gone back to the 5-2-3 for this one. Very much anticipating Chelsea to have the majority of possession as Dean Henderson lumps it out of play. Chelsea likely to have the majority of possession, likely to be on the front foot for the majority of the game. We're going to be looking to hit them on the counter-attack. We've had some success with the 4 at the back formations, even that 3-4-2-1. I think we saw a lot of potential in that. But we just cannot afford to play a formation like that against a team like Chelsea. We'll just get picked apart. Koleosho, nice little run from Kamada. Don't think I would have found him though. Koleosho just plays it off the legs of the Chelsea man. And Adam Wharton collects. Constantelius. Leif Davis outside him. I was hoping that little movement from Leif Davis would take the Chelsea man with him. But Constantelius pulls it back for Abraham, who opens the scoring with his first shot. 8 minutes in. What a counter-attack. Constantelius Pulling it back across the penalty area for Tammy Abraham. He unleashes with his right foot first time. And buries it past Unai Simon. That is exactly the game plan we had in mind heading into this fixture. Get the ball to Tammy Abraham as quickly as possible. Let him put it in the back of the net. Because he just simply doesn't seem to be able to fail to do that this season. He has scored so many goals. He just does not miss. And Daichi Kamada, again, having an incredible season. Maybe not quite as good as Season 1 or even Season 2, where he put together back-to-back Player of the Year campaigns. He was edged out by Tammy Abraham in Season 2. But Daichi Kamada's season was worthy of the award as well. And I think it's going to be the same case again here in Season 3. As Chelsea looking to pick the lock. Cole Palmer with the shot. I was worried for a second. I think Oliver Glasner, who apparently has hair dye, mascara or something running down his or her face in the rain. But I think our manager was worried. I think our manager was worried there. I think our goalkeeper was as well. Munoz gets there the first time. Chelsea 11. Took, what, 6 minutes? And we've been asking for it, to be fair. Because I just keep giving Chelsea the ball. Tried to pass it all the way across field with Adam Morton. Munoz gets the block in initially. Shot at the near post on the rebound. And it's a fresh game again, 15 minutes in. We have to use possession better. We can't just gift it to Chelsea. That is the danger with this particular system. Because we're anticipating not having possession, we squander it when we do get it. It's a poisonous mindset almost. Because we are so resigned to the fact that Chelsea are going to dominate possession, we don't take care of the ball when we do get it. Because we just think, well, Chelsea are supposed to have it, so why not play a risky pass rather than a more conservative one? Because that's the way the game is supposed to go. Konstantelis, one touch. Gets the shot away. And it's a free kick to Chelsea. Wasn't sure which way that was going to go. It's always so confusing when the referees gesture for free kicks, because they almost invariably gesture the wrong way. So I thought we might have one in a dangerous area there. I have lunged in with Daichi Kamada. And that's left us a little exposed. Nicholas Jackson. Cole Palmer ahead of him. Adam Wharton doing well to delay the Chelsea attack. It's nicely worked though. Chris Richards can't get the foot in. How? How? Firstly, how are we so deep? Our line height does not warrant being that deep. Neither does the line height slider, which is all the way up at 80. Got the line height slider at 80. I've got our team defensive line height at 60, and yet we are parked up on almost on the edge of our 6-yard box. And what is Dean Henderson doing? He goes to pick up the ball like there isn't a Chelsea player there. There simply is. And Liberali puts it in the back of the net. 2-1 Chelsea. This game has turned around real quick. We will be initiating literally. What are we doing? What are we doing? Absolutely awful in possession in this game so far. Just literally passing the ball to Chelsea. And as I was saying, we will be initiating the offside trap mechanic in this particular game. It's something I've been advised to try in the comments. And I did try it against Brighton, and I think it helped. I mean, it's tough to tell. Such a small sample size. of one game as well. But I think it helped, and we'll be trying it again here today. At least when we can initiate it. Every time I try and initiate it, we seem to win the ball back. So, I mean, maybe that's a tactic in itself. Kamada can't get the cross in. Finally, we've been able to initiate the offside trap. I don't even think it's taken. It hasn't taken. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. Nicholas Jackson. Threaded through. What are you doing, Dean Henderson? What are you doing? I mean, I know I've played awful in this game so far. Like, possibly the worst game I've ever played on FC the entire year. But Dean Henderson is giving me no help. What is that? What is that? What is that? I've never seen technique like that from any goalkeeper ever. Run towards your near post and just kind of fall over. Liberali with another goal. Is that his hat-trick? I think that's his hat-trick. A hat-trick within half an hour for Liberali, a player that I don't even know. Absolutely unreal. An excellent start to the game. Ahead within 8 minutes. Chelsea just utterly destroying us. 4-1. I mean, Liberali has 4 goals. What is going on? Literally, what is happening? We've just absolutely gone to pieces. And again, I know I've been awful in this game so far. But what are my defenders doing on this occasion? Koulibaly is there. Chris Richards is there. Liberali just picks up this space in between the two. Neither of them do anything about it. They just back off. And I think I've initiated the offside trap mechanic. Have I? Have I not? I mean, I've pressed it 2 or 3 times whilst Chelsea have been in possession. We saw the little green sort of powering up circle, and nothing seemed to happen. Koleosho, Abraham turns it towards goal, but comfortable save for Unai Simon. Right, let's try again. Is that activated or not? I mean, maybe it is activated because Nicholas Jackson is just in behind. Dean Henderson finally makes a save. And Daichi Kamada comes away with it. Madueke for company. Kamada. Still going, Kamada. In behind for Tammy Abraham to try and get on the end of. Adam Wharton does get on the end of that. And Kamada finds Koleosho. Munoz outside him. Instead, Koleosho will find Kamada once more. Twisting and turning, trying to find a way through. Koleosho. Heavy touch. Can't quite find Constantelius. Will get it back onto his right foot, though, and win a corner. How are we 4-1 down? I still don't understand. I still don't understand. We've got Chelsea once more in this episode as well. Back into the box. Tammy Abraham can't win it. Neither can Chris Richards. Daniel Munoz nods it down for Koulibaly. Adam Wharton. Koleosho in space on the far side. Loses it. I mean, that's why I don't do skill moves again. Great challenge, Adam Wharton. Okay, Chelsea haven't scored for, what, 10 minutes. This is a positive sign. Munoz. Koleosho. Kamada. Good effort. Unai Simon makes the save, and it's hooked away before Leif Davis can get there. So it looks like we're going to get to half-time with a score only 4-1. And I think, well, I say only, but Chelsea pretty much scored with every opportunity so far. Dean Henderson has made one big save from Nicholas Jackson. Other than that, I think Chelsea might have scored with every shot. And they might score again here. Big block, Trevor Chalobah. Munoz tries to hook clear, but Noni Madueke kamikazes himself to prevent him from doing so. Koleosho. Can we create one final opportunity at the end of the first half here? Good run from Munoz. Just couldn't thread that gap. Just took so long for support to arrive as well. Just felt like an age I was waiting there with Koleosho. For Kamada or Munoz. Oh, and that's poor. That's poor. That's entirely my fault. Just awful positioning defensively. Chelsea goes short with the corner. Lavia, edge of the box. A player that Dougie Friedman wanted us to sign in January, but he was under the impression he would cost us about 15 million. He was our budget option. Great ball into Koleosho. Tammy Abraham, is he onside? I think not. Gets the shot away and he is just offside. Fair enough. Humphreys for Chelsea. Lavia once more. We do have some tired legs out there as well. Koleosho found by Kamada. Tammy Abraham in support. Koleosho gets the shot away and Constant Delius hits the side netting with the final kick of this first half. Oh, it just wouldn't sit for him. I knew when I Simon was clambering back to his feet. Oh, we should have a goal back at the end. Even then, to be fair, it'd only be 4-2. And the game would still be very much Chelsea's to lose. And as I was saying, at the end of the first half, we're going to have some tired legs out there. Very, very busy month here in December. Tammy Abraham is already ready to go off, to be honest. Koleosho probably not too far behind him. Trevor Chalobah was a little less than match fit heading into it as well. And Koleosho is just standing offside. Maxence Lacroix has not started the game. Koulibaly in instead because he wasn't fit enough to start. So things are only going to go downhill from here, you would imagine. We've got pretty much close to our strongest 11 out there. Tammy Abraham, is he onside this time? I think he is. And he was onside. Couldn't bring it down, though, to get the shot away. Manuel Dennis, our striker on the bench for today. Still no Eddie Nketiah, who does look like he's going to leave the club in January. So with the sale of Eddie Nketiah and potentially of Rak-Sakyi as well, I think we should have a decent amount of money to spend on almost anyone we want in terms of a defensive midfielder. There's been some really good suggestions in the comments, as well as those players that I've picked out myself and those that Dougie Friedman has suggested. And as Liberali leaves the field, having done an unbelievable amount of damage. So I think we're going to have about 25, maybe 30 million to spend. It was 15 to 20 was what Steve Parish made available initially. And then we should be able to add... Great save. We should be able to add 10 to 15 to that with the sales of those players. And I still have no idea what's going on defensive line-wise. Still have no idea what's going on with this offside trap as well. Is that something that's static, or is that just something that you have to activate in a specific instance? Because I swear against Brighton, I activated it once and then there was a little green tick in the middle, as if it was just a static, not ability exactly, but as if my players would just always be playing offside. But now it seems like I have to activate it each time, and I do, because I've just seen Chris Richards step forward there. So I think I actually have to activate it each time, and that's why it didn't seem to be taking exactly. And that's probably partly why we were left so exposed for one or two of those Chelsea opportunities. But the defensive line is so deep and I have no explanation for it. With 80 line height on the sliders and 60 in the tactics, we should not be setting up shop 8 yards off our own goal line. Just makes no sense. And it wasn't this way against Brighton either. It's clearly been our downfall today. That and just horrific play. Easily my worst performance in the series so far. And it's going to see us out of the Carabao Cup. Adam Wharton. Can't find Daichi Kamada. I mean, to be fair, Chelsea have made it difficult for us. They've been clinical with their opportunities. They've been combative in midfield. They've been quick and eager to press. They've made it difficult for us, and they're good for a 4-1 lead. Oh my God. They're good for a 5-1 lead. They don't get it, but it wouldn't have been undeserved. It's another horrific mistake defensively. Koleosho. Munoz outside him. Koleosho once more. This is better. Daichi Kamada, we can't find him. Kamada just making that awkward run. Not exactly busting the gut to get in beyond Badiashile. Or I think that was Badiashile. But neither was he just holding his run so that we could square it to him. It's almost like he's trying to match the pace of Badiashile so that there's never an opportunity to pass. And I think we've picked up an injury as well. Somebody went down. And Tammy Abraham is going to have to come off. So we'll check on that potential injury now as Enzo Fernandez comes on to make our afternoon or evening even worse. And it's Leif Davis, the injured Eagle. So he will come off for Roscoe Torres. Ebioe and Emmanuel Dennis to come on to replace Koleosho and Abraham as well. So a little bit concerned about Leif Davis. We do have a pretty much like-for-like replacement in Roscoe Torres. Torres maybe just a bit more direct, a bit more dynamic with the ball at his feet. Or dynamic on the move with the ball at his feet at the very least. Can put his head down and get by players in a way that Leif Davis can't. Constantelius hits the bar. But Leif Davis, we know what he can do kind of in a more static position with the ball at his feet. We know what he can do in terms of crossing, in terms of shooting as well. As we saw in the previous episode. Kamada. Can't find Dennis. But they are very similar players. Very much offensive-minded fullbacks. As is Daniel Munoz, of course, on the other side. And Milan van Ewijk. Constantelius wriggles past the Chelsea defender. Emmanuel Dennis. Big save, Unai Simon. There was power on that shot. It did really well to tip it over. Does Chelsea make another change? Adrabayo on for Lavia. And Kamada will deliver the corner. We need a goal soon if we're going to be back in this. Headed clear by Chelsea, though. Constantelius finds Munoz. Koulibaly. Munoz once more. Ebioe. Good strength to bring it down. Dennis is in the box. Turns it towards goal, and it's another big save from Unai Simon at the near post. This is better. Why can't we have played like this? After that opening goal, 8 minutes in. Great header from Koulibaly. Comfortable save, though. Did really well just to get the header on target and generate enough power to make it reach Unai Simon, to be fair. It was an awkward header for Koulibaly. Kamada. Big switch of play to Roscoe Torres, who can't bring it down. Really poor. The game is gone, though. Let's be honest. 15 minutes left. Maybe a little more with stoppage time. Chelsea comfortable. Good play by Roscoe Torres. 15 shots on target today from Chelsea. 15. Crazy. Torres can't find Kamada, so poor pass. Maybe we do just need to try and match teams like for like in possession now. I really don't think that's the right approach, though. I think it is more execution than approach today. We've just played poorly. I don't think it's necessarily a tactical issue today. I certainly don't think playing 3-4-2-1 and trying to match Chelsea would have been the right approach. I think trying to just defend well, hit them on the counter-attack is the way to go, but we just simply have to play better than this. Especially, oh my God. Especially if we're going to be making Europe next season and we're going to be playing against not only some of the best teams in the Premier League, but some of the best teams on the continent. Great save, Dean Henderson. He's suddenly woken up. Had a horrific first half. It's been excellent in the second, though, to prevent this being an embarrassing scoreline. It's been an embarrassing performance. And it's not exactly a scoreline you can feel particularly proud about either at 4-1. But this could have been 6, 7. Been absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. I can't think of a single player who's had a good game, to be honest. That's a rash challenge. Should be a booking on Adam Wharton. We'll make another change or two as well at this stage. And it's a straight red. It's not a straight red. It's just not a straight red. Referee strict is just on default at the moment as well. It's not like it's on strict or... Oh, okay. I take that back. It's a straight red. I have lowered the tackling aggression for this particular game as well. We're down to 85, but apparently it does need to be lowered even a little further. We will make our final changes of the game. And Torres will deliver this corner into a dangerous area, where he finds the head of Emmanuel Dennis. But the header is a poor one. Don't believe he's scored in a Crystal Palace shirt just yet. He hasn't had too many opportunities to do so, to be fair. He's not been on the field a huge amount. But he is our only backup at the moment now, really. Stassin is injured. We do, of course, have Nketiah, but there's no point planning, really, if we're looking to sell him. We just haven't been able to string two passes together today. As I said, I can't think of a player who's had a good game. Dean Henderson's had a good second half, but I don't think even to this point he's made up for the first half performance, so we can't even count him. Please just blow the final whistle. Please just let this be over. I can't do this anymore. Jackson. Jackson again. Mendy. Madueke. Jackson. Another big save from Henderson. Maybe one more of those. And his first half performance can be forgotten. Although, I don't think so, because if we don't concede those 2 goals in the first half, doesn't matter how many saves he's made in the second period, we'd only be 2-1 down heading into the second half. And we maybe would have had a chance. Fernandez. Jackson, showboating now. Koulibaly hooks clear. And Davidson just lumps it up towards Ebiowe. Chelsea on the attack. Final time of the game, though, before we are put out of our misery with the sweet, sweet relief of the referee's final whistle. Dennis tries to nod it down to Constantelius, not on the same page. Constantelius dropping off. Wanted him to run in behind. The referee's final whistle finally goes. And that is a game that I'm going to want to forget about as quickly as possible. The same can be said for the travelling Crystal Palace fans. Haven't had far to travel, to be fair. That's probably their one consolation. It's just a short tube ride back until they're in the comfort of their beds and they can dream of a victory, dream of a performance far more glorious than the one that they've just witnessed in real life. Absolutely unreal. We need to check out this Liberali guy. Liberali's just 19 years old. Apparently he is real. He plays for the AC Milan youth team, as far as I understand. We'll get him scouted, though. I'm interested to see what his overall is. Leif Davis did pick up a slight knock, so we will be without him as we host Newcastle United at Selhurst Park. And Newcastle come away with the victory as well. Just 2-1 on this occasion, rather than the 4. Anthony Gordon grabbing a goal, and Benjamin Sesko up front for Newcastle grabs the other. Daichi Kamada scores a consolation goal. And now we've got to play Chelsea again. Leif Davis is back for this one. Milan van Ewijk comes in on the right-hand side. And Joe Bellingham starts in midfield ahead of Andreas Pereira. And it's another 2-1 defeat. Daichi Kamada yet again on the score sheet. What an episode he's having. But Madueke and Nkunku score the goals for Chelsea today. And it's another game in quick succession as we host Nottingham Forest at Selhurst Park on this occasion. Lucas Stassin is back from injury, so he starts up front for this one. Wilf Zaha also comes in for Constantelius, and it's a third defeat on the bounce in the Premier League as Nottingham Forest come away 1-0 winners. And that gives us just one final opportunity to put some Premier League points on the board here and rescue the month of December. We have to travel to Anfield in order to do that, though. But we are going to try and go toe-to-toe with Liverpool. We're going out in the 3-4-2-1. We're going to try and control possession. We're not going to give them as much respect as we gave Chelsea. And the formation and tactical system was ultimately a mistake because, as predicted, Liverpool just picked us apart. Cody Gakpo opened the score in 16 minutes in, and Luis Diaz doubled Liverpool's lead shortly after. And we actually kind of dominated Liverpool in the second half. This formation definitely has some potential, but as we pressed to get back into the game, Cody Gakpo put it beyond all doubt. I think there is a really effective formation in there somewhere. I think we just have to do a little more to protect our back three because they were exposed against Liverpool and they've been exposed all episode, really. So we do finish in 8th position, 6 points behind Arsenal, who were in 6th where we began the episode, and they have a game in hand. So we've really dropped away from those European places, and we got knocked out of the Carabao Cup. A pretty disastrous episode for our European aspirations, to say the least. But we could be adding a really important player to the squad next month to help out with those defensive worries. We have narrowed down our list of defensive midfielders to 8. We've got Samuele Origi from Torino. We've got Mandela Keita from Braga. We've got Alan Varela, who we will come back to. We've got Dennis Zakaria. We've got Unai Hashimi. We've got Sangare. We've got Matusiwa. And we've got Edson Alvarez. Alvarez and Varela are currently the two front runners, in my opinion. Varela is just 25 years of age, plays for Porto, would cost 29 million, but he does have 6 different and relevant play styles, and he plays centre half at CDM and deep lying playmaker at centre midfield, which are the 2 player roles that we would like to utilize this player in. The other front runner for me is Edson Alvarez, who has deep lying playmaker at both CDM and centre midfield, so maybe wouldn't be quite as ideal in that true CDM role, but in that 3-4-2-1 would be a perfect fit. He's a little bit older at 29 years of age, but slightly better overall at this point in time. Has 5 playstyles, including a playstyle plus as well. But I don't think you can count out those other players either, and Dayashimi may not have any playstyles, but he is an 81 overall. Can play centre-half, can play deep-lying playmaker. Similarly, Zakaria, 30 years of age, but 82 overall. He can play the holding role or that deep-lying playmaker. Samuel Origi's just a really good all-round midfielder. Ultimately, though, the decision is not going to be ours to make. It's going to be up to Dougie Freeman to decide who he thinks best fits our needs going forward. So we will look forward to finding out his verdict in the next episode. I hope to see you there. Take it easy.